good, you guys? It's Boomer and Jared watching Bali Star. Today, we're getting into why Drake just got dissed by Pharrell. Pharrell. Pharrell back outside, man. It's a must be outside, hey. But yeah, let's get straight on into it, bro. Pharrell finally jumping in the fray. Finally. Let's go.
After over an entire year of dissing and taunting that has of course reached an all-time high during the peak of when Drake was going back and forth with diss tracks against Kendrick Lamar,
These are dark
Pharrell Williams has
covered
finally
blueberries, by the way.
responded to Drake with a diss of his own in the most Pharrell way possible. And first off, the fact that Drake has reached a point where the guy who is considered to be one of the nicest people in the entire music industry is finally clapping back at him really shows just how low Drake has sunk at this moment. But beyond just this, when we look at the way Pharrell has actually called Drake out, it isn't just wild to hear Pharrell alluding to the downfall Drake is going through right now as he adds his own perspective into this entire feud, but with the way he has pulled off getting a jab in at this moment in time in his career, it only makes this entire moment even more insane and on his end. Just shows off how clever of an artist he is on every level. So when it comes to how Pharrell has dissed Drake, while everybody else involved in this beef has released aggressive diss tracks that make it clear that they are targeting Drake or whoever else they may be after, or other artists have just hopped on features and affiliated with people who are clearly against Drake to show that they echo the same sentiments, Pharrell hasn't done either of these things and instead has sent some words Drake's way through the release of his new single Double Life, which is not just any standalone release of his, but is a part of the soundtrack he is working on for none other than Despicable Me 4, which first off, the fact that Pharrell is dissing Drake on a soundtrack for a movie like this is just absolutely hilarious.
That's
and while some people are
asinine.
looking at this fact and thinking that this was not intentional on Pharrell's end because of it, when we look a little bit closer at where his career is at, we can see that this wasn't just intentional, but it was the only possible way to defend his name after being brought up in this recent beef over and over again and almost being used by Drake as a sort of prop to just add more fuel to everything. And beyond just this feud alone, with Drake taunting Pharrell even before this on some massive songs
One of the hardest
like Travis
Pharrell beats
Scott's
I've ever heard.
Meltdown from Utopia, and even in the Jumbotron Poppin' video all the way back like Travis Scott's Meltdown from Utopia, and even in the Jumbotron Poppin' video all the way back during the Her Loss era of Drake's career, where in the video, he showed himself flaunting some of Pharrell's most iconic chains. This response has been a long time in the making, but considering everything Pharrell has going on in his career right now, and as a result of this, the high standards and image he has to uphold, when we look at what he just did by releasing a song like this, it was his only opportunity to get anything off against Drake without setting himself back. And if you don't know what I mean by this, all you have to do is look at how far Pharrell has gotten in recent years with everything he is doing at the moment. And while this is because he is a great artist who has so much to offer as a creative voice in just about any field that you put him in, it's also because this guy is almost never in any sort of controversy that can damage his name or the massive brands he is working on major projects. Now, whether this is his position at Louis Vuitton as creative director, which is a massive role and has even allowed for him to help other rappers like Tyler the Creator make an even bigger impact in lanes that they are passionate about beyond music, or it's his upcoming Lego movie, Piece by Piece, which aside from looking spectacular with its incredible art style and cameos from Lego versions of Kendrick Lamar, Snoop Dogg, Jay-Z, and many others, to be able to even get a biopic in the Lego format in the first place, which will probably end up also having sets with figures of him to go along with it. It's really a sentiment to the way that while still being his most authentic self in everything he does, Pharrell has kept such a strong, positive, and controversy-free image to the public, and of course right now, with him once again doing the music for one of the biggest animated film franchises out right now. From Louis Vuitton to Lego to Despicable Me, Pharrell Williams has amassed some of the craziest collaborations and roles that any musician can have, and as a result of having all this going on in his career, and having to uphold this strong image that pushes forward not just himself, but the entire music community as a whole, as he is always bringing others up with him and discovering and helping new creatives. Pharrell can't just engage in a rap beef, and especially one that has been so heated and personal due to the accusations that have came Drake's way like most other rappers could. So when you consider all this, and see how in this very moment in time, following what has become years of tension that has only gotten worse and worse, when we get to this new track, Double Life, and hear Pharrell's lyrics which read, "What are you hiding? What do you do when you're gone? Nothing."
I saw this on IG just this morning. And the caption saying, "Who you think he's addressing?" Well, it's obvious, but you know what I'm saying. I'm just like, dang, Pharrell finally saying something.
Wrong being private. Make sure it ain't wrong. Your life double-sided, two-faced like coins. What side do I get? What side are you on? And later in the song he goes on to say, so what have you done? Some of your dirt has come to light, speeding up that hill until the brakes come off, and someone saw you in a fight.
Hold on.
And
Let me see
later
the
in the
full
song,
thing
you're
again.
gone. Nothing wrong. Hear Pharrell's lyrics, which read, what are you hiding? What do you do when you're gone? Nothing wrong being private. Make sure it ain't wrong. Your life double-sided, two-faced like coins. What side do I get? What side are you on? And later in the song he goes on to say, so what have you done? Some of your dirt has come to light, speeding up that hill until the brakes come off, and someone saw you in a fight. It's pretty clear that with lyrics that are apparently mirroring everything Drake represents to mass audiences at this moment, Pharrell knew what he was doing by releasing this song at this moment in time, and now building on those lyrics that seem to line out the entire situation of where Drake is at. Throughout the
All
rest
calculated.
of the Pharrell emphasizes over and over again this idea that somebody is lying and that they have went down the wrong path and chose the wrong side, and when you consider everything that went down and see how Drake has been called out for being a liar and a fraud, and being accused of having this rotten side that we can't all see, and ultimately just coming to terms with the idea that his own impulsiveness and arrogance got him into the position he is in, where he didn't just turn what feels like the entire rap game against him, but would also cause him to underestimate his opponents and then get embarrassed like few other rappers ever have been before. When you know that while Pharrell has been seen as an artist so unproblematic that you can give him an entire Lego
Yeah, the
movie
fact that
and have him
Pharrell,
work on one of the biggest family films of the year and he will bring no damage or bad press to your brand whatsoever. But at the same
crazy.
time, understand
At the
that
same
despite how
time,
successful this man is, he has never been afraid to be his most authentic self and still associate with artists who inspire him no matter the risk, whether it's been somebody who for years was seen as so problematic in Tyler the Creator, or an individual as polarizing as Kanye West, or even somebody whose entire reputation as an artist is built off some of the most dark and gritty things out there in Pusha T, who he's only continued to work with and embrace further as their careers have progressed. While it may seem ridiculous that Pharrell Williams is masking a song that is marketing a movie about Gru and Minions as a Drake diss, when you can see the fine line that he has walked throughout his entire career that's made him the go-to guy for so many big brands to team up with, yet the devotion to the authenticity that to this day has kept Pharrell cherished as not just an institution in the music world or one of the best producers, but most importantly, one of the most respected artists that any other musician, no matter what generation or genre they operate in, would love to work with. This recent track being Pharrell's genius way of finally responding to Drake, but doing it within a way that can't damage any of the accomplishments he has made and push back any of the barriers that he's moved forward, that getting within a rap beef that
now
is
that's
what this sour
genius.
could cause. Pharrell Williams
I ain't
has
gonna
once
cap.
again shown us that he is a true genius who, even while navigating partnerships and collabs with some of the strictest brands that you can work with, can still find the most clever and effective ways to let somebody know who is not on his good side that despite their best efforts to drag him into this beef and diminish his own legacy, that they have failed. And this is why, for Pharrell's standards and just for what this represents in the exchange between him and Drake, this is without a doubt
Now
the
he's
best thing he could have done.
happy.
So now, out of all of the moments we have had go down related to this beef, Pharrell using the Minions to diss Drake was definitely not one I expected, but regardless, the fact that he was able to use this track as not just a way to promote Despicable Me 4, but also to let Drake know that his games are not going to work on him is genuinely great and just shows how ineffective anything Drake did against him was. And looking forward, this entire moment serves as a warning to Drake, where Pharrell is telling him to not go any further with this ridiculous feud that he just can't seem to let go. So with all this said, let me know, what do you think of Pharrell's response? Do you think that Pharrell shut down Drake
Genius.
for continuing this beef
Genius,
here,
genius,
or do you
genius.
think that Drake will find yet another way to come at him again in the near future? I can't wait to hear what you have to say, and if you...
It's genius because, like, the calculations, the fact that he's putting this out now, a month and a couple weeks after the beef, that people are still trying to justify, you know, Drake's making certain captions on IG, you know what I'm saying? Like, still sending subs, and people like, you know, his fans, like academics, stands, like academics, you know, trying to justify that, like, trying to justify Drake by saying, like, Kendrick had stream bots Pharrell's timing of putting this out, like, bro, it was all just genius. Strategic as chess, not checkers. Alright, you guys, so that was why Drake just got dissed by Pharrell. Yeah. What else can I say? Say less. Hey, man, y'all let me know your thoughts about it down in the comment section down below. It's Boomer. You're watching Body Star. Make sure to leave a like, support the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new. I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. 100. Oh! Now he's happy. Went out of roof. I swear, songs hit different when they're not on the radio anymore, bruh. Or not that much. Yeah.